getting up, if you're like, I'm not going to listen to Wolf, I'm going to go get a soda, I guess you're going to miss the intro. Up here at the top right, July. At the bottom left, InCa. InCa down a game here. He has chosen to play on Daybreak. A very large 2-player map, similar to the last game. Very good map for Forge Fast Expand. Now consider also, it's easy for the Zerg to take a third base on this map because there's no rocks, it's because it's close. But since it's a 2-player map and since it's a very obvious third, it's really easy to scout. It's a really good map for all kinds of different pressure builds off of 2 base. It's really good for the 4-gate +1 Zealot pressure. It's also good for the Void Ray +1 Zealot pressure, which is a little bit more committed, but you can definitely kill or cancel a hatchery with that pressure on this map if you do it correctly. So July's going to have to be wary of this. Now again, he's going for an early spawning pool here, going for another 10 pool. And it's scouted again. July Zerg really knows how to transition out of a 10 pool. He's probably 10 pool more than any other Zerg. That's a joke, but it might actually be true. He can get his queen up early with the probe comes and sees early, and then, of course, you know, actually, thinking about this in another way, this pool makes him make the forge before Nexus. So he slows down his opponent's Nexus in this way. Then he just drones up. So he slows down his drone production for a minute, but he makes sure his opponent can't get a fast Nexus. He has to go forge first. And with this faster pool, the probe can't deny a hatchery. It's okay, he's going to get those Zerglings out to chase the probe away anyways. And his opponent has to respond. He has to make a cannon first. He cannot just sit back and go Nexus first. That's not going to work. Of course not. Don't be silly, guys. I don't know why you thought that would work. 4 Zerglings popping out now for July. And he's going to check to see if that probe's there. Sees that's not. Just goes ahead and sends his Zerglings. The drone is going to make the hatchery immediately. And this is actually a pretty cool timing. I actually want to study this a little bit more. There's a lot of Zergs 10 pool, but I always just thought, oh, well, I played safe, so it doesn't matter. But actually, July's build is so smart. It's hard to say if he really gets behind from this. His queen is a little bit faster from that pool, so he gets a lot of extra larva out. I'm intrigued a little bit, I must say. He's done the build twice in a row now. Both of the game's 2-player maps. Extractor going down now for July. His expansion completely uncontested. He may decide to go for a fast third base, just like we saw him do last game. Zerglings continuing to check around, making sure no cannoning is going on. Wants to drone up. Doesn't want to make any unnecessary extra Zerglings. If he can spot the cannons, then he can deal with them no matter what. Next is finishing up for InCa. His gases are done. Now I'm curious to see if InCa is going to go for Stargate play on this map. Will we see Dark Templar out of him? Is also entirely possible. He really likes that strategy. It has not worked out for him often, but when it does work out for him, it really works out for him. So we shall see. The core is on the way. A big tell of this will be when he takes his gases at his natural. He's got all sorts of different variety of Stargate abilities he can do on this map. He decides to go down that path. His scout is denied. He does see no super fast third. He's going to want to check again, though, to see if there is a third coming in. July is going again for this fast double gas. And probably will go into 2-base Muta from here. He's continuing to mine gas, so he doesn't have those extra 3 drones to get out the faster hatchery. And there is the Stargate for InCa, so he has made the decision. He's committed to this. Few Zerglings going to come in here. The Stargate's in a scoutable position. If he could just get close enough, he's probably not going to commit to running forward into that wall to lose the Zerglings. So he won't see it, but it is a close call. Could have been spotted. And there are the double gases for InCa at his natural. So we're not going to see Zealot pressure with this. The 3 gateways have not been added either. You saved a lot of Chrono Boost for that Stargate. We're going to see Void Ray first. And he's going to follow this up with Phoenixes. He's going to clean up the watchtowers, kill Overlords, put pressure on the third base, perhaps kill Queens. And on top of all of this, the Spire play that's coming out for July may not be as effective with Phoenixes out. Although we saw, I don't know if a lot of you guys watched this, a cast a show match between Desro and Golden, where even though Desro had Phoenixes out against a Mutalist build with good micro, The Mutalisks just were uncontested, even with double Stargate Phoenix. So July Zerg is well known for his micro and his decision making. We'll see if he drops that Spire. There it is. 2-hatch Muta. This is so cool that StarCraft 2 is going back to 2-hatch Muta. It was just never the case before, but now it's switching back. And it's strong against Stargate play, I feel, because the biggest weakness to this build is a really strong gateway timing attack, but people have figured out the timings for those, especially since they become more and more Zealot heavy. The Spire is good for that. Twilight Council is shown here, but he's going to see the Stargate anyways. Third base for July is going down, but the Void Ray and Phoenix are here to creep. The creep spread is not quite over that base. He may have to cancel that hatchery. In fact, I think he's definitely going to, because there are 2 Phoenixes now, and there are no Queens in sight. A Spore going to come over here to try to slowly push this back. Time running out for this hatchery. He's going to have to cancel, but he will do it at the last second. Spire is almost done, and when he gets that Spire, he's going to be able to make enough Mutalisks to ward this off as well. But he's going to have to cancel that hatchery. He's going to kill Queens here instead. He may actually end up saving this hatchery. It's crazy. One Queen does get picked up and picked off, but the Void Ray, one more hit would have done it, and July has saved the hatchery. I cannot fathom why you could decide to kill the Queens instead. I cannot even imagine why that would be the case, why you thought that was a better idea in my wildest dreams. But now we're going to go up to 5 gateways, 6 gateways in fact, in the main base of InCa. Once he follows up with a time attack, he's damaged the gateways, or the hatchery, excuse me. Guys, I told you I lost my sanity. Some people lose their passion, I lose my sanity. My passion's still there, I promise. The hatchery is heavily damaged. This timing attack is actually going to be pretty strong. He's going to go for a Queen here, gets that weakened Queen from earlier, and the Corruptors, though, are out, and they're going to deal with these Phoenixes quite well. Not only can Mutas deal with Phoenixes with good micro, especially if you have a really high Mutalisks count, but the Corruptors just shut down Phoenixes like nobody's business. Well, this Gateway follow-up, though, the Corruptors not going to be very good against that. You may be able to scout the probe. He's looking for it. Uh-oh, the Phoenix is running into trouble here. They do barely get out of there. Almost. Now July is adding additional spores just to be safe. One Corruptor does go down to these Stalkers, though. Blink is almost done. There's no forward pylon just yet. He's going to need that if he really wants to commit to the attack. Looks like he's going to take a third. He can still attack, though, with this, if he chooses to, but it looks like he really is sticking to his guns here. He's just going to take a third instead. And in some ways, that's safer, that's better, but I really feel he could have killed the hatchery. Didn't need to power up those gateways before the Nexus, if that's going to be his case. Oh, Phoenix is just barely going to miss a drone kill to deny a hatchery. He's going to be able to kill some drones over here, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 drones killed. July only 10 supply up here. He's got a lot of useless Corruptors in the mix right now, but as he gets more and more Mutas, he's going to be able to join the Mutas and the Corruptors together to kill these Phoenixes and take dominance of the skies. Templar Archives is on the way for InCa. Nice control on those Corruptors, almost picking off a Phoenix. 2 hit points left on that lucky one. The other thing, the Templar Archives is finishing up, +2 finishing up for InCa as well. He's going to be able to make some Archons, of course, get Storm out and help deal with these Mutalisks. His third base is relatively exposed, but he's adding more gateways over there now to help wall things off. And July has just been hiding his Mutalisk transition. Hiding it really well, in fact. But already cannons are going down for InCa. He's prepared. Changelings dying all over the place. And that Queen is going to be spotted, so that's a huge plus. It's good to kill isolated Queens. If you can kill one Queen that's by herself, that's fine. You don't take any damage. Also, you shut down some Larva Injects. That's the one Queen that was going to inject the bottom right base. But if you try to kill the Queens that are defending a hatchery, then you're not going to shut down his Larva Inject and you're not going to kill his hatchery. You might kill a Queen, maybe. That's why I was saying the difference between killing Queens, different timings, is very crucial. Look at this, the Corruptors defending the Mutas against the Phoenixes. No amount of Phoenix Micro is going to really work out against that. Looks like he's going to commit to this attack here, killing Stalkers that are warping in, blinking in the back. The Corruptor's doing a lot of damage to those Phoenixes. Now the Muta's going to run in. Great force fields blocking off these Zerglings, which means the Mutas may not be enough, but he is going to corrupt some of these by the looks of things. And as the sentries fall, these force fields will fall also. I like the choice to run in here instead, though, as the Zergling count got a little bit too thinned out. I'm not sure if he should commit to engaging here, because he just barely has enough. His Mutas don't quite have +2 yet, but he just has barely enough to take out those Stalkers. Stalker's blinking in here. He was trying to get that Cybernetics core, doesn't quite get it. He's losing a lot of Mutalisks, and one more blink may kill a few more. Decides not to blink. +3 is almost done for InCa for his units, but he did lose a lot of units in that exchange. He can defend this really well, though. I think this may be a little bit too much by July. Stalkers blink forward, catch another Muta, damage a few other units, and now InCa actually has a timing he can move out. He's killed so many of those units. He's got cannons in his main, so the Zerglings and the Mules are likely not to counterattack during this moment. +3 almost done. He's blinking forward with his Stalkers now. Zergling is running in here. I'm not sure if that's enough, though. The Zealot's going to get in front here. The Muta's getting way ahead of themselves. InCa looking pretty good here. Decides to back off, trading pretty efficiently. Right now the worker count 71 for InCa, 68 for July Zerg. And his third base is up and running, so I feel like this is a pretty even game right now, with InCa perhaps even a little bit ahead. He's going to kill this base over here, which isn't even mining right now for July. And July is showing a little bit of faltering with his multitasking, not sending any drones over to that base for a really long time, just using it for a production hatchery for this attack. And the Stalkers are going to want to blink back. The Zealots now getting in some good hits. Remember, he has +3. The Corruptors adding in some extra DPS here. And the Mutalisks, they do have +2, and with all these corruptions, he may be able to kill the Stalker count. It's tough to say who's really going to come ahead, and it looks like July will. We'll kill the last few Stalkers here. But more Stalkers blink forward. The supply relatively even, 149 to 123. For PvZ, that's pretty good for a Protoss, considering the way the drone deficit oftentimes works, and a fleet beacon goes down for InCa. This is what a lot of Protosses have been doing recently, to take a fourth base. You can use that mothership to harass while you take a fourth base. Storm hits all the Mutas, a huge storm. Now these Mutas are going to have no more harassment potential. They cannot engage ever again. It's going to take years for those Mutas to heal up. He's actually going to try it again. He hits another storm. Oh, the Muta's taking so many hits. The Stalkers are going to polish them off. And July way over committing to this attack. I know the Stalker count was low, but was not a good time to fight there. Uh-oh, Stalkers getting a little bit ahead of themselves. Just a micro battle in the middle, and InCa taking out so many Mutalisks here. July really botching that attack. Now the supply count way in the favor. He's even gets some Overlords here and blink back. 155, 159 to 138. Zergling is trying to catch some Stalkers here. He's building up that Zergling count. It's up to 54 now to help deal with the Stalkers, but the Zealots are always there. And the Stalker count's so high it's out of control, so the Zerglings just cannot do enough. They already have +3. The Stalkers are just doing too much damage, and he's engaging them separately here without the Mutas. This may be the end for July if he loses this army. The Archon doing so much extra DPS here with its +3. GG. InCa ties it up 1-1. Crushing those Mutalisk attacks. July getting a little bit ahead of himself in a few different spots there. And overall, InCa actually showing him how it's done. Defending extremely well in that game. And now we're tied up 1-1. We're going to have our final game very soon.